Hey guys, real quick before I start the video, I just wanted to add this little bit to the beginning to let you know to watch the whole video, okay? Because here's the thing. I just watched the video, I just shot the video that you're about to see, and I went back and watched it, and maybe like 2 or 3 minutes before the video is over, I said, okay, thank you for watching. If you want to get some coaching from me, hit me up. Thank you very much for watching. And then I kept talking for another 2 or 3 minutes. And by the time I finished watching the last 2 or 3 minutes, I realized that it was good that I did it that way, because I ended up really tying everything together that I talk about in this video. And I think I did that because as I was talking, I said goodbye, and then in the back of my head I went, wait, you didn't do the ending that you wanted to do. Because I wanted to explain everything and then at the very end tie everything together and give you guys a big aha kind of moment. Like you're gonna watch the last 2 minutes of the video, or the last minute or whatever it was, and you're gonna go, oh, I get it. You're like that, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to address some very deep concepts in this video, and you're not going to, if you just skip to the last 2 minutes of the video, it's not going to make sense if you just watch that. Also, if you just watch the first half of this video and you go, well, that doesn't make any sense, you have to watch the whole video. You're not going to get it if you don't watch every last second of this video. I'm sorry, but these are very deep concepts. I'm going to talk about spiritualism and physics as I try to explain twin flames. So don't skip the end of the video. Watch the whole thing. Maybe just put this on pause and come back later when you have more time. And again, just to be clear, what I ended up doing was there's still going to be, a couple minutes left of the video, and I go, if you want to talk to me for some coaching, hit me up. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a good day. And then I kept talking, and I tied everything together at the end. Also, there's my original What Are Twin Flames video. You might go watch that video in addition to this one. If you watch this whole entire video and that other video, maybe watch them together a couple of times, you'll get it. You'll get it. You will. You will. You might have to watch it a couple of times. But I just wanted to emphasize, don't skip the end of this video, because I really did a killer job of really tying it all together at the very end, last couple of minutes. And again, I start with, or I end the video with, okay, thanks for watching. And then I kept talking for a couple of minutes. So keep going. If you see that part, just watch the whole thing. It'll make sense. I promise it'll make sense. And again, if it doesn't, just go watch my other What Are Twin Flames video, and then watch this video again all the way to the end. And it'll make sense, I promise. It'll make sense. So here's the video. Enjoy. Hey guys, Kurt here, and today I want to do kind of a quick part 2 on my previous video called What Are Twin Flames? And if you want to go watch that video, there's a link down in the description box below. This should clarify some questions that have come up. I've also thought of a way to explain this that I think will make it a little bit more clear. Although, if you haven't already seen the first video called What Are Twin Flames, it is absolutely essential that you do so. After you watch this video really is meant to kind of pigtail onto that video, because some of the concepts that I discussed today won't make sense unless you watch that other video first. Also, for those of you that were not aware of this, all of the videos where I talk about things like this video, I've assembled all of them into a single playlist for your convenience. You don't have to go scrolling through the videos on my channel, searching to try to pick out all the videos where I'm talking about things. If you go to the playlists menu, right, so you go to the home page of this channel, New World All-Star, and go to the playlists menu, and you'll see home playlist, home videos playlists, about, community, right? There's a list of menus. Go to the playlist menu, And in that menu is a playlist called How to Get Your Twin Flame. And watch those videos. I put all the videos where I talk about twin flames in that playlist, and I put them also in some kind of a cohesive order, so that if you start watching the first video and you just go next to next to next to next video, it kind of flows logically, because I'm trying to teach you about twin flames, and you have to start with the basics and then build up, from there. So watch that playlist if you want to not have to search around my channel to find these videos, because I do a lot of tarot card readings, and so the videos where I'm talking about twin flames are kind of sprinkled in there. So I did that to make it easier for you guys. So here's the thing with what are twin flames. I thought of this analogy. Now I used a similar analogy, and I've got more, by the way. There's more. I have more like little fancy drawings, okay? So I used a similar analogy in the first What Are Twin Flames videos, and I used a magnet. I also said you could compare it to a battery. Well, I thought a car battery for an automobile, right? A car battery would be also a really good analogy to kind of help bring clarity if there was any confusion. And the reason I thought it was a good analogy is because on a car battery, you have these two metal posts. Think of the car battery sitting under the hood of your car, right? The big black, for those of you, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the big black plastic box. They're usually like this big, and they've got the two big cables hooked up to it. There's one red and one black, usually, okay? And the red one is the positive cable. Some people might not know what a car battery is, so I thought I'd just explain that. But this kind of crisscross, this is my way of saving time and ink. I didn't want to color in the entire thing like solid black, so I just did this crisscross pattern to indicate, it's the black car battery. Okay, anyway, so these two things are the little metal posts, the little silver metallic posts that stick out of the car battery that you attach the cables to, right? And there's one positive and one negative. In any energy system, it doesn't matter what it is, and this is, like known physics, this is known science, right? In any energy system, the energy always travels from the positive to the negative, and labeling positive, positive, and negative, negative, those labels were decided upon by the scientific community. It's not some intrinsic thing. All we're talking about when we say positive is that which has more energy at the beginning of the energy transfer in the energy system. And the negative is that which has less energy at the beginning of the energy transfer in the energy system. It could be an hourglass, guys. An hourglass with the sand. The positive end is going to be at the bottom at the start because all the sand is there. It's larger, it has a higher quantity relative to the negative side. That's why we call this positive, because it's more. And this is negative because it's less. But positive is only positive in relation to negative. And I'm emphasizing the word relation because I'm trying to play on that. What I try to focus on is something tangible. For example, Einstein's general theory of relativity, right? And this theme, this kind of scientific way of looking at this, is something that you'll notice in all my other videos. So I just want to throw that out there. This is relativity, guys, right? This is only positive in relation to negative and vice versa, okay? And scientists labeled it that way. It's not a static thing out there in the universe, and the universe decided that it's positive because the universe said it's positive. No, it's just science, guys. Science is where we categorize and classify things, and we give them names so that we can understand things, okay? And our way of doing that is to call that which has more at the beginning of the energy transfer positive. So you take the hourglass and you flip it upside down, and it's still, for the first couple of seconds, the top has most of the sand in it. That's still positive. Well, in a battery, it's the same. Okay? There's more electrons on the positive end of the battery than there is negative. And that's kind of a dumbed down. I am giving you a sort of, not really, but sort of a dumbed down, simplified, okay, explanation of energy systems. Okay? It's an energy system. And the energy always travels from positive to negative in an energy system. And if you are watching this video, you are positive. You are what is called divine feminine. Okay? And the negative is what people call divine masculine. But gender doesn't actually have anything to do with it. Where that label came from was, and there you go, that's a spiritual label, not a scientific label, right? It's divine masculine, divine feminine. It's just a way to help people keep concepts and things orderly and organized. But really, those aren't accurate. What happened was most of the time when what you see is a woman chasing a man, right? In a twin flame relationship, in a twin flame couple, in a twin flame at the beginning throes of the twin flames meeting, and there's the dark night of the soul and the back and forth and the running and chasing and blah, blah, blah. At the beginning, okay, the woman is usually chasing the man. And originally when people were trying to figure out what the hell was going on with twin flames, long ago, you would almost always, not always, because I'm what you would call divine feminine, but almost always, you would see a woman chasing a man at the beginning throes of the twin flames meeting. There would be the romantic connection. Then 4 to 8 weeks later, the man takes off running and the woman starts chasing. And people go, oh, well, that must be divine feminine. And she's the chaser. And divine masculine, because he's a man. Yeah, because they knew that people understood at that point, when they were coming up with these labels, that it's one soul that's inhabiting two bodies. And they said, oh, it's a divine thing. It's a divine connection. Yeah, it's divine feminine and divine masculine. And they embody the feminine and the masculine. And they get into all this gender theatrics and confusing stuff about gender. And gender doesn't have anything to do with it. People were looking at the 3D stuff, guys. And they gave it those labels. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Doesn't have anything to do with it. Doesn't have anything to do with it at all. Gender has zero to do with it, guys. It's energy. It's polarity. You are a 3-part triune being. Body, mind, spirit. Okay? You're a 3-part triune being. What I'm talking about are the laws of the universe. And when I say laws, I'm not talking about rules. You have to do this. You have to do that. I'm talking about physics, laws, how the universe functions, those kind of laws, okay? And when I explain twin flames, I use the laws of the universe to explain them. Duality, relativity, right? And the soul is a singularity. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about when I say singularity, go watch my other video, the part 1, what are twin flames? I explain that, what the soul is. It's a singularity. It has no opposite. The mind operates on a system of duality. Love, fear, feel good, feel bad. Happy, sad, happy, mad, feel good, feel bad, feel good, feel bad. Polarity, opposites, relativity. Everything in this universe is based on that system, in this physical universe. The soul operates on no system. There's no system. It's source. There's no opposite. It's infinite. It's infinite. It's one. It's the one. It's the all. It's infinite. It's source. It's a monad. It's a singularity. And physicists, a singularity is actually where this physical universe emerged from. That's what they call that. The ancient mystics of the ages, so traditional, thousands and thousands of years old, I guess you could say like Eastern spiritual teachings, they call that the realm of the absolute, right? What was before the Big Bang? What was that? They would call that the absolute, or heaven, or the afterlife, which is really the before life, right? It's the absolute. That's what they call that, the ancient mystics. Physicists call it a singularity. absolute, singularity. Absolute, singularity. No opposites, right? Kind of similar. And science is starting to figure out things that the ancient mystics have been talking about for a long time. Millennia, actually, okay? And so just kind of a quick detour there to explain a few of those concepts. So anyway, when I describe what twin flames are, I'm going to use actual laws of the universe to explain this to you. So you are so-called divine feminine. You're the positive polarity of an energy system. Your other self, so-called twin flame, is the negative polarity of the energy system. Now, what is you? This is what I wanted to talk about in this video. What is you? What are we talking about? What is you in quotation marks? When we think of what you is, we think of this: body, mind, spirit. And the mind really is what controls the astral body. The astral body is chakras, telepathy, Reiki type energy, right? Metaphysical energy, telepathy, chakras, right? That. Okay? It's controlled by the mind. You're a three-part triune being. You're a three-part triune being when you are incarnated on this physical plane. When you do the thing that we call die, your body ceases to function and your mind ceases to exist. All that's left is you, infinite or zero. Physicists call it 0 point. They call it singularity. Also, it's infinite. It's infinitesimally small. Okay? Think about that. It just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and infinitely. A singularity. It's infinitesimally small. Okay? And that's the soul. What I think of as, well, I'm not going to get into that. Maybe later. Well, just go with me here, okay? It's a singularity. It's infinite. And it's also all things out in the universe. God, what Christians call the Holy Ghost, is this infinite kind of like cloud of metaphysical energy, but it's linked to the infinity. So there's infinitesimally big and there's infinitesimally small. And it's both of those. And it's also one. You're not going to figure this out. Okay? Just go with me here. Really, when a physicist tries to explain a singularity, they're going to talk about it kind of the same way that I am. Okay? Because, for example, when you try to calculate, like if the universe was to stop expanding and it starts to collapse and kind of like retract and go back to a single point where it came from, when you get down to the part where you reach the singularity again, mathematics itself breaks down. Mathematics does not function. You cannot explain it with a negative number, a positive number, or zero. The only thing I could think of maybe that you could use is a phenomenon in mathematics called imaginary numbers. And I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm trying to do here is to show you that the laws of the universe explain this perfectly. They explain it perfectly. Go watch my other video called What Are Twin Flames? So anyway, without going too far down that rabbit hole of what the fuck this is, and this is what I tell my students anyway, you're not gonna understand that which is infinite. I'm trying to explain to you what the soul is, what a singularity is. And you cannot. Your mind can understand. This is not your mind, guys. And it's something you can't understand. I can try to use analogies to explain it good enough so that you get what I'm talking about. It's a singularity. It's infinite. It has no opposite. It has no opposite. Unlike the mind, which is duality, plus minus, the same with the body. Everything in this physical reality is based on plus minus. Well, anyway, here's what I'm getting at. You, what is you, right? What is that? Well, what you think of normally is this little metal post sticking out of the car battery. You think you're just the little metal post. That's what you is. You don't realize that there's this whole system that you're connected to. All this black stuff, all the chemicals and the little cells and stuff that's inside the car battery, inside the black plastic box. That stuff exists on the 5D or the infinity D. And you don't realize that you is also this other little metal post. You think of that as another person, your so-called twin flame. What is you? You're just thinking of your body. Your you, me, myself, my body. All you're seeing is this little metal post. And what I'm trying to tell you is that you is bigger than you think. You is bigger than you think. You is bigger than you think. You're not just a little metal post. You're a system. You're a system, guys. You're a system, right? You're a system. It's like a fractal. I'll explain that in a second. So here's you, and well, I'll explain fractals first. And it'll make sense. Just keep watching. Just go with me. It'll all come together in the end. Trust me. Okay, a fractal. Go Google it. There's the Mandelbrot set. The Mandelbrot set, B-R-O-T, I believe, Mandelbrot set. A snowflake, right? Snowflakes, sometimes you look at them, it's a unique individual snowflake, and if you zoom in on a snowflake under a microscope, you see that it's made up of little tiny snowflakes that look like the big snowflake. And they all come together to make the one big snowflake. Okay, it's a repeating pattern. If you zoom in on the snowflake under a microscope, you see little tiny itty-bitty snowflakes, shapes that look just like the one big snowflake that you're looking at. Or think of the leaf on a tree. If you look at the shape of a leaf on a maple tree, you're holding it by the stem, and here's the leaf up here. Look at the shape of the leaf. It kind of looks like a tree shape. It's got the stem, it's got the shape of the leaf, and it's kind of the same shape as a tree-ish. It's a pattern that repeats. The little leaf is like a little mini tree, and the tree is made up of thousands of the little leaves. It's a repeating pattern, a fractal. Right? I'm just telling you what a fractal is, and I'm just trying to give you examples of that concept, okay? A fractal. You're no different. You are nature. That's why this works. That's why my explanation works, because I'm using examples from nature, and I'm using the laws of the universe. And I'm also taking what we know about what life is. When you're incarnated on this physical planet, you inhabit a 3D avatar physical body. Body, mind, spirit. Okay, it's a system. There's the singularity. There's the absolute source. It's source. It's a singularity. It has no opposite. It's pure. It's infinite. It's infinite. It gets infinitesimally larger or infinitesimally bigger. It's infinite. It's source. It's pure. There's no opposite. It's mono. Like anybody that's old enough to remember like mono records before they came out with stereo records. Like if you listen to an old Elvis record or Buddy Holly or something, it's mono, right? There's no channels. With stereo, there's a left channel and there's a right channel, and it's stereo. Mono, one, singularity, that's the soul. There's no opposite. These operate on a system of duality, relativity. These exist in the physical universe. This is beyond the physical universe. It's the setting for the physical universe. It's what the physical universe exists within, I guess you could say. The singularity, right? Now, what's interesting is these things are dualities. This here is a singularity. Duality versus singularity itself is a duality. How about that? Think about that. Body and mind works on the system of duality, relativity, Einstein's general theory of relativity, duality, plus minus. Feel good, feel bad, feel good, feel bad. Even Zen masters, there's plenty of books out there about this. There's Zen masters, Eckhart Tolle, Charlotte Jocko Beck. They describe the mind as a duality. They use that word even, duality. Feel good, feel bad, feel good, feel bad. It's right, it's wrong. It's good, it's bad, right? The soul is a singularity. A duality and a singularity next to each other is itself a duality. This is the opposite of this. Right? Do you understand that? So this system contains duality, and this system itself is a duality. And then you go up a level. You go up a level to your twin flame. Is it like this? Sort of. Sort of. It's more like this. Soul. Body, mind, spirit. That's twin flames. And this energy is the 5D metaphysical energy. Your soul is not 5D, guys. Oh yeah, I got to get in touch with 5D. Yeah, I got to ascend to the 5D. 5D, yeah, we got to ascend to the 5D. No, don't ascend to the 5D. You're going to limit yourself to only being a telepath or a tarot reader or something like that. Ascend to infinity D, guys. Infinity, your soul. I am. Pure consciousness. Go watch my other video called What Are Twin Flames? Go watch the part 1 of this video. You're one soul. And the soul can exist in one place or both places at the same time. And here's another concept that physicists talk about when we're talking about multidimensional physics. For example, an electron can exist in one place or all places at the same time. If you look at a carbon atom under a microscope, and I saw a picture of this the other day. It was like a little chunk of carbon, and they were looking at the carbon under a very powerful microscope, and you could see the individual carbon atoms. And they looked like little black spheres all lined up next to each other. And you're looking at the individual carbon atoms, and they look like little black spheres, and it's like, well, now wait a minute. I thought what an atom was here's the nucleus, it's got the protons and the neutrons, and then there's electrons orbiting. How come I don't see that? How come you don't see the atom symbol like you think of when you think of, like the Simpsons? They've got the big atom symbol on the side of the cooling towers at the power plant where Homer Simpson works, right? The atom symbol, it's got the nucleus with the electron orbiting it, right? I thought that's what an atom was. How come when I look at a carbon atom under a very powerful microscope, I see a little round black sphere? I thought I would see like something spinning around the nucleus, right? Here's the thing. The electrons are spinning so goddamn fast that they make like a solid shell, okay? It makes a solid object. Here's my hand, and now my hand looks like long. Have you guys ever, taken a picture and left the shutter open, and then you, move an object across the view of the shutter? And then when you develop the picture, you see like a big long blur of a hand, right? It's like that. And this is where we get into the theory of relativity. It's relative to your perspective. If you were a tiny miniature person standing on the surface of the proton on the nucleus, you would see a slow moving electron moving slowly around you. But you're not a little tiny person standing on the nucleus. You're a big human looking at the electron through a microscope. So the electron appears to move really super fast. So fast that it makes a solid surface. So an electron can be in one place or all places at the same time. Time is relative, and it depends on the size of your sample. How big of a sampling of time am I taking? How big is my snapshot? Think of like a really fast movie camera. Like there's cameras that are so sensitive that they can take a picture of a bullet leaving the barrel of a gun, and you see the bullet traveling through the air. Well, it's because the camera is filming at like 1,000,000 frames per second. They make cameras that can film that fast, 1,000,000 frames per second. Think of the movie reel. You know, like a movie reel where it's got the little frames, like an old-fashioned movie reel, right? It does 1,000,000 of those a second. That's why it's able to see the bullet move, okay? It's all about how big of a slice, how big of a sampling you're taking. It's all about perspective. It's how things are relative to each other. If you were a little tiny person standing on the nucleus, you would see a slow-moving electron orbiting around the nucleus. But you're not. You're a human. You're a big human, and an electron, an atom is very, very, very small compared to you. And so you see, when you see the carbon atom through the microscope, you see a solid sphere, okay? It's all about perspective, all right? So a thing can be in one place or all places at the same time, just like your soul. It can be in you and them and everywhere at the same time, okay? And at the very, very core of your soul is a singularity. Now, what I think of when I think of a soul, I think of more like a black hole. And a black hole, I won't go too far down this rabbit hole, but at the very center of the black hole is a singularity. But there's more to the black hole than just that. There's the event horizon of the black hole, and any object. So this is the singularity. This is the event horizon around the black hole, or around the singularity. Okay. And inside the event horizon is what you call a black hole. Outside the event horizon is just outer space. So the event horizon is the border of the black hole. And anything that passes beyond the event horizon, it can't go back. You can't leave. Once you pass that event horizon, you're cooked. You can't turn around, because anything inside the event horizon would have to travel faster than light to escape. Anyway, when I think of a soul, I think of a black hole, which is kind of a system with a singularity at the middle of it. Physicists aren't 100% sure what's going on inside the event horizon, although they have some very good theories, and some of the theories have been validated to a certain degree. They did just discover within the last 5 years, I think it was, gravity waves. Einstein predicted that there would be gravity waves, which, if you understand gravity, that sounds like kind of a contradiction, but it's not. And if I'm not mistaken, a gravity wave is caused by two black holes like interacting or intersecting. Well, anyway, guys, without boring you with all that other crap, this is a repeating pattern. It's a system. It's a repeating pattern, like a fractal. It's a system, right? You is bigger than you think. What you is bigger than you think. You're the whole battery. You're a system. You're the whole thing. You're the whole enchilada. You're not just the little metal post. That's what you think of. You think of me, I'm this body. You don't realize there's all this other stuff going on that is part of you. You is not just your physical body and your mind. There's more going on here, okay? And like a fractal, these systems repeat themselves. This versus this, what's up here versus the two things that are down here, is a duality itself. And so is twin flames. You're the positive polarity. Your other self is the negative polarity. It's a duality versus a singularity. And the energy, the metaphysical energy, travels from you to your other self. When you are pining for them, trying to figure out what to do about them, even if you're feeling better, you're still here watching this video looking for answers. And what I tell people is, if you want to neutralize that metaphysical energy, you have to ascend. You have to align with this. And this is pure consciousness. Go watch my other videos. I just told you at the beginning of this video where my playlist is. Go watch those other videos. Hit me up for some coaching. If you want, you can take my Introduction to the Journey course. If you want, I have a video course. It's 10 videos. It's over 6 hours. You won't have any questions by the time you're done watching. It's very, very good. So there you go, guys. I hope this video helps. It'll make more sense to you if you go watch my other video called What Are Twin Flames first, where I kind of lay the groundwork for this. But I thought of another and maybe better way to explain this, what a twin flame is, what that is. It's a repeating system. Okay? You guys are the same soul. But in order to exist here on this physical plane of dualities, the soul has to polarize in order for there to be a physical you and a physical they. In order for your soul to exist here at all, it has to integrate into this system of duality. Okay? And it does so this way. Okay? And each one of these, you is body, mind, and spirit, yes, but so is your other you, your so-called twin flame. But when you step back from, when you zoom out from this would be like you standing on the nucleus of the atom, looking at the electron moving around slowly. This is you looking at the atom through the microscope and seeing a solid sphere. You see what I'm saying? It's all about relativity, perspective, and these are systems that repeat themselves like a fractal, okay? That's what's going on with twin flames. You are one being. This is one being. You are one being, and you is bigger than you think. This is one being. You is bigger than you think. This is one being. You is bigger than you think. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.